Good afternoon and welcome to the Tuesday, February 13th regularly scheduled City Commission meeting for the City of Henderson. If you would, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Remember, a call for attendance, please.
Commissioner Bowles?
Here.
Commissioner Thomas?
Here.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Here.
Commissioner Witt?
Here.
Mayor State?
Here. First up on the agenda is a presentation from our FFA group about National FFA Week. If you'd like to, just come up to the podium and...
It's a proclamation.
Oh, no. If you would, come up to the podium and then we'll bring the proclamation out to you.
You'll make the speech.
Yes, sir.
National FFA Week. The official name of the organization is the National FFA Organization. The letters FFA stand for Future Farmers of America and are part of our history and our heritage that will never change. And whereas FFA and agricultural education provide a strong foundation for the youth of America and the future of food, fiber, and natural resources systems. And whereas FFA promotes premier leadership, personal growth, and career success among its members. And whereas agricultural education and FFA ensure a steady supply of young professionals to meet the growing needs in the science, business, and technology of agriculture. And whereas FFA motto, learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve, gives direction and purpose to these students who take an active role in succeeding in agricultural education. And whereas FFA promotes citizenship, volunteerism, patriotism, and cooperation. Now, therefore, Bradley S. Staton, by virtue of the authority vested in him as mayor of the City of Henderson, does hereby designate the week of February 17th through the 24th, 2024, as National Future Farmers of America Week.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
For what you do in our community. We really much appreciate it. And if you'd like, you all are welcome to address the commission and say anything you'd like to say about FFA and about your efforts in Henderson.
Sure. So our local FFA organization, proud to be a partner with the city, and we appreciate you all allowing us to be a partner with you. I know Lorelei has co-oped at the city. She also is the one who cares for the hanging baskets downtown, the flower baskets. She does a wonderful job there, and our students are the ones that plant those. They also do the perch, all the seasonal decorations there, as well as just renovated the depot landscaping, and we're going to do a similar project at Red Banks Park. So FFA in Henderson has been active since the 1930s and has long had a strong partnership with the city, and we hope to continue that. So we thank you for the recognition.
Well, I tell you, so the Perch Project started back in 2017. It was completed in 2018. And a few of us were on that committee to help put that together. And it's never looked better. And so we really appreciate all the efforts that you all do and everything you do for the city. Thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate it. Next up, we have a recognition of new employees. Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and do you have some information about Mr. Kirk in there?
Just that Tommy Crook started back with us as a part-time gas distribution crew leader in the gas department.
Gotcha. Thank you. Tommy was not able to be with us today, but later on we'll read his confirmation into the record. Next up, we have a service award pin for Beth Austin.
Beth Austin. Beth started working for the City of Henderson as an account clerk in the finance department on January 25th, 1999. In December 2003, she promoted to Secretary Senior in the Parks, Recreation, and Cemeteries Department. Beth was promoted to her current position, Account Technician Senior for the Finance Department in November 2022. And now it looks like she's come for a full circle. Beth was an integral part of the Parks, Recreation, and Cemeteries Department. She would comfort families while helping plan the funerals of loved ones, making their experience a little easier. Beth has always played a big part in special events, going so far as to working with the Easter Bunny and Mrs. Claus, and helping staff with historical walking tours in Fernwood Cemetery on weekends. She was the impetus for the Remembrance Tree as part of Christmas in the Park. Over the years, Beth has truly treated the Parks Department as part of her family. She even recruited her son to work as a lifeguard and her daughter as a concession worker at Atkinson Pool. She got her husband Mike involved with Santa at Parks events. Even though Beth is no longer with the Parks Department, she continues to help out. She is a very positive influence in the Parks, Recreation, and Cemeteries Department and is greatly missed with her promotion to finance. Beth has also been a big asset to the Finance Department since her return. She quickly learned numerous new duties and occupational license and was able to step up into the backup role as accounts payable and payroll processor almost immediately. Her calm and pleasant personality is essential as she changes hats and offices often, sometimes multiple times throughout the day. The city appreciates you, Beth, your dedication, loyalty, and service, and we are happy to have you with us today to thank you for all your hard work and dedication to the city with the presentation of this 25-year service award pin and something new. You're the first recipient of a throw blanket from the city.
So 25 years is a long time. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate, on behalf of the city, your service to the city over that 25 years. The city can only go so far as the people who work for it take it. And so from the bottom of my heart, we thank you for your service. Here's your 25-year service award pin. And Safety Sam made sure that we have these brand new throw blankets to give out in addition of our appreciation for your service to the city. So this is yours, and if you'd like to say a few words about your service to the city. Well, thank you again very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up, we've got a presentation from Melissa Clements with United Way.
Good afternoon. How are all of you this afternoon? I was about to say morning. Thank you so much for letting me come today. I was asked to be here to discuss the process of the grant application that the city does each year for our nonprofits here in our community. Over the last probably couple of years during COVID, United Way had taken on a new task to give out COVID recovery and restoration funds. There was an allocations team that was formed separate from United Way of Henderson County and an executive team that was formed separate from United Way of Henderson County. I guess it's been about a few weeks ago, Mayor Staten and I had met with the executive team. That executive team consists of Mayor Staten, Magistrate Taylor Tompkins, Bobby Jarrett with the Housing Authority, and Mark Chumley with Baird Financial, to discuss the possibility of United Way bringing that allocation team from the COVID era back together to look at administering the city and county grant. I met with the county this morning, and they are all in favor of United Way doing this grant process. I want to be very clear and transparent with all of you on how this will go, and a very quick overview of what it will look like. United Way's Board of Directors will not be voting or overseeing this process. You, as a government entity, will have the final approval. The money that you give out will not be given to United Way to disperse. The city will be dispersing those funds after this body has approved the allocations moving forward. Also, the allocations team is made up of around 12 very diverse community members. Commissioner Witt will sit on that, in representation for all of you, unless somebody else from this commission would like to sit on it. Chelsea Mills, as your finance director, will also be sitting on that allocations team. So there is oversight that will happen in the beginning, but again, you will have complete oversight from start to finish. Also, there will be an accountability piece that I think is very important for us to discuss. Jack Brewer will be the chair of the allocations team. He is with Audubon Metals. United Way will not be chairing this. I will not be participating in the allocations team either. Jack will be the one that will be presenting the recommendations to you as a body. He will come to you and give you the recommendations from the 12 individuals that have vetted the application process. Now, for some of you, if you haven't been involved in how United Way works, Dawn used to be chair of our board many years ago. Also, she served for about 25 years on our allocations team for United Way. This is a very in-depth process. This is not something that's taken lightly. These 12 individuals will take the applications in, they will review the information, and then they will reach out to the organizations and have conversations and ask questions around why are they requesting this money? What does this money mean for them moving forward as an organization, for our community to move forward? There will be criteria set for the scoring piece of this. It will be set by the executive team, and we are in the process of that. Mayor State is part of that process. If you have suggestions, and we said this to the county, and I want to make sure this is said to all of you as well. If you have suggestions from the commissioner side that you want to see as criteria, please reach out to me or to Mayor State or to Nick or to Chelsea. Because we want to make sure that we are doing our due diligence, and also that you all have things that you want to see moving forward in our city. You want to make sure that those things are those concerns and those needs are being met. So please talk to us. Let us know what you want us to be looking at. Also, again, you're more than welcome to volunteer if you'd like. There will be a piece to this where the organizations, once have been awarded the money, there will be an accountability piece. They will have to come back and they will have to let us know how the money is being used. They will also, in this form, they will have to be able to show us as well. You can say a lot of things, and we understand that some of the programs and projects that could be funded might not be great successes for them in the beginning, and that's okay. That doesn't mean they failed and they've done something they shouldn't have done. That's the accountability part. That is reporting back on how are you using the money? What is happening with that money? Is there something we, from a commissioner's side, can help you with moving forward into the future? Also, we are looking at long-term sustainability with this funding, not short-term Band-Aid fixes. We want to know, who are they partnering with? Are they looking at partnerships and collaborations with others? And also, we'll be really looking at duplications of services. Because if there are organizations that are doing things similar to other organizations in our community, we'll have an opportunity to bring them together, to have conversations, to talk about maybe you should join forces. Write this grant together. Two heads are better than one. So there will be several pieces to this puzzle that will go into effect, but we do believe this is going to be a very good process. We believe it will be a very transparent process for the city and for the county moving forward. Everything is online. This is not paper-based. Kelsey Dunham, our Community Impact Manager, has been working diligently to put everything online via the web. It will be filled out online. They don't have to do it all in one setting. They can start, come back, and finish. They will submit it. Once it is submitted, it's time-stamped. They will get a copy of their grant. We will receive a copy, and anybody else the organization deems necessary, they will receive a copy. Once that has occurred, we can communicate with them via phone. I told the allocations team they can do Zooms, they can do in person, however they feel comfortable talking with these organizations. The accountability piece, the reporting form will also be done online. They will also have to report back their findings and how they use the money online as well. The reason for one-stop shop is because it cuts down on confusion. They understand what is expected. And also, Kelsey and our staff at United Way will be there to help them if they have issues with technology, having trouble logging in, we will have an information session February the 28th at the Public Library at the Pittsburgh Tank and Tire Room at 2 p.m. to have discussions with these organizations. United Way's been working for the last year to put together a new current database of our nonprofits here in our community. Kelsey has done a very good job at doing that, so we will be sending emails out to all nonprofits, social media. If we feel another information session needs to happen in March, we can do that. That's not a problem. We're here to help them, not to hinder the process whatsoever. So that's what United Way is looking to do. I would ask if you guys have questions for me. I'll be happy to help you, happy to answer them or help in any way.
Somebody have any questions or comments for Melissa?
How does what does, the fee or money that's paid to this group, how much is that, or if it's any?
So for United Way to do the service,
Yep.
the executive team discussed that fee. That was not a true United Way decision. We did not want it to be. We are looking at 5%.
And and to expand on that too, Commissioner, is Dawn Kelsey and Steve Gold are currently working with United Way to set up something called a memorandum of agreement. And the memorandum of agreement will come back sometime either the next meeting or the one right after for us to take a look at and vote on. And last year, United Way received from the city $15,000 in grant money, and from the county $5,000 in grant money, so a total of $20,000. And we're looking at $150,000 from each entity. So from the city, there'd be $150, and the county $150, and 5% of that in total is $15,000. So that's actually less than they received in grant money last year, and they will be ineligible to apply for the grant money in addition to the services they provide.
One more question. What happens if someone thinks that they deserve to be approved and wasn't approved? What's the process after that?
So the allocations team, there will be no appeal process like you all have had on our end. You all, as a body, will be able to set different parameters once we come with the recommendations. That will be left up to you all. We talked about a contingency fee, and Mayor Staten can speak a little more to that. But there will not be an appeal process back to the allocations team, but there can be that process back to you all like there has been in the past.
So we will get a list of who was
Yes.
turned down.
Absolutely.
So we actually will be the ones who officially turn them
Yeah.
down if they're turned
Yeah.
down. So what they will do is they'll bring to us at the second meeting in May, they'll bring to us a slate of their recommendations. And we've got, the way the memorandum of agreement will look is we'll have $150,000 that we will devote to the program from our side, which is comparable with what we've given in the past. Last year we gave out around $126,000, so it is a little bit of an increase. 5% of that, or $7,500, would go to United Way, and then $15,000, or 10% of that total amount, will be held out in a contingency fund. And so when they come and give us the presentation at the end of May, and with their recommendations on who should receive what money, there's going to be an additional $15,000 that we will have in discretionary funds if we want to add money to a certain recipient or add a recipient that wasn't acknowledged by the program. And then we will also retain the right to modify anything that they present to us before we finally approve it. Okay.
That's why the appeal process will come back to us, because you all will have the final say on the funds that are being divvied out. And yes, and also, I'm glad you asked that question about would you get a report on the ones that we weren't recommending funding? Absolutely. We will be very transparent with this body from start to finish. And you at any time can come back to us and ask us any questions during this process. The grant application as of right now is not in concrete yet. It's going to open up April 1st and would close April 30th, with our recommendations coming back to this entity on the 4th Tuesday of May. So we will make sure that you all are fully aware of what's occurring throughout the entire process.
And then, like she said too, the one thing that I like a lot of things about this going this direction, but one of the things I like the most personally is the follow-up. So they are going to, people who apply and receive the awards are going to be required within 6 months of having received it to issue a follow-up report on how they've received or how they've used the money, and then also prove how they've used the money to kind of follow up with the money that we've been giving out. We haven't had that level of follow-up in the past. So I'm kind of excited about moving that direction as well.
Now, what about the ones that get denied? Are we gonna tell them why they got denied?
We
So
can,
it's
yes, and that's part of the
clerical or
criteria that we're setting right now for approval and denial. There's a lot of wiggle room here on really how much information do you want to give back? Do you want to just do a feedback sheet on, here are some things that we suggest, suggestions, recommendations? That'll all be set during the criteria period with the executive team. So yes, that is something that can happen.
Okay, good.
Can I make one clarification? I did want to make it clear that SPGE, special purpose governmental entities, are, that's not part of this.
Right.
So like planning commission, airport, those are separate. That's not.
And then also, there's some things like the county provides funds to different festivals and stuff like that, and that we have done in the past. Some of the festivals actually do apply for money through the program and will continue to do so, but there are also some off-program things that we've given to in the past, and we'll still have the capability to do that throughout the year, so it wouldn't be part of this.
Just one more, and I'm finished. What happens, say like, I get the grant this year, and then I apply for next year. Are you gonna rotate nonprofits, or you're eligible every year to?
You're eligible every year to apply for the funding. And it will all be based off of what the allocations team is looking at. Or let's say that next year you all as commissioners you're looking at certain things. You're looking at certain organizations moving the needle forward on certain projects, programs. That information will be pertinent every year that you relay that information to the allocations team and executive team. So we make sure that we we understand what you're looking for as we go through this process. But in essence, any organization is eligible each year unless you all deem it differently.
And unless they fail to meet the 6-month requirement?
That's correct. If they fail to meet the 6-month requirement, that has been talked about heavily in our meetings, that if they do not meet the reporting requirements, they would not be eligible. And not just from a United Way standpoint, a funding standpoint, as we look at different funders, not just here in Henderson, but really across our region, that is a practice that's in place everywhere. We are having to hold people accountable for what they're doing, because when you're putting donor money or taxpayer money in the hands, you expect a certain degree of, how's this money being used? Where's it going? Can you show us? And are you ready to tell us about it as well? Meaning, could these organizations stand up here and have a conversation with you about the $10,000 you gave, knowledgeably? And and also one of the things I really encourage too is you want organizations to say, hey, come see what we're doing. Come visit us. Walk through our doors and let us tell you what's happening and show you through these programs and projects and clients how your money's being used. So that's really what we're looking at.
Did we have administrative hold on agency funding, or like if they had a past due utility bill or something like that?
Well, utilities don't fall under administrative holds, but yes, we'll go with that.
Okay. So that'll be part of the criteria.
Mhm.
But that would not have to be utility check.
Gotcha.
Good deal. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
to
guys. We
present.
appreciate your trust in us.
Yes, ma'am. Before we move on to the next section, is there anybody in the audience who has need to address the city commission about anything that is not on the agenda? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you for letting me speak.
If you would state your name and address.
Scott McCord, 625 South Main Street,
All right,
Henderson,
thank you.
Kentucky.
Thank you.
Also own that building, McCord's Lawn Care LLC, and also own 645 West Main Street. I just purchased that last year and built a new building and cleared it all out for the business too. The reason I'm here today is I'm questioning about a building an empty lot that the city of Henderson owns that is directly behind the 625 South Main Street and right beside the 645 and the sand lot. I forget the name of their company now. They've changed recently, but we got it landlocked basically, and it's a vacant lot. Utilities have been pulled, the Hempel pulled the pole last year, pulled the meter off the pole. It's getting overgrown with trees. Fence is starting to collapse, and it's gonna fall onto the properties beside us and everything. I'm extremely interested in the property because it's right by mine, and I want to tie them together if I can and clear it out and make it look right. And actually last fall, when we did start doing all the clearing, I cleared it with the city. There was some, on the property line, there was a couple of huge sycamores that no cost the city. I paid for with the timber company. Got those out of the way so we wouldn't have any problems with anything falling or anything either way because of the building. I didn't want it hitting the building, and I didn't want it hitting anything else. So I did clear that. I did take it, and I did pay for that myself. So that's cleared that out, but it's inside. It's really bad. And if it gets any worse, I'm gonna have timber companies having to get in there, and I'm trying to get on it. If, you know, and I don't even, it's 601 West Main Street is a property in question is what it is. And I don't know what the status is. If, you know, I spoke at Buzz before, and the process was bids and things like that, but I've yet to hear anything, and it just seems like nothing's getting done. So
I can explain the situation. The area in which he's talking about is a fenced-in piece of property that was used and operated by Henderson Municipal Power and Light for years. And from my understanding, it was somewhat of a substation for electrical distribution at some time. So when I went to the PVA shows it belonging to the city of Henderson, but however, it actually was used and operated by Hempel. So I have talked to the general manager of Hempel to ask about it and any other abandoned properties that may be in our name that currently are not being used, and ask for him to send a letter to the city saying they're no longer needed and wants, from their perspective, to declare them surplus. Now, the real question is, Dawn, I don't know if we own them or not.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that. I'm
property card says you do, so
It
I
does.
Yeah,
understand that.
but the thing is, at one point, Hempel and the city were one.
Oh,
And
okay.
then in 51.
I understand.
They pulled apart, and they took their stuff with
Yes,
them.
ma'am.
The utility commission was created.
Okay,
So some of those really old lots went with them, but
Mhm.
PVA probably, there were deeds
Yes, ma'am.
associated with them. So we're gonna have to.
Do you have Mr. McCord's
Yeah,
information? I'll tell you, we will definitely look into it and get back with you in short order on it.
thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your
bringing that
time.
to our
Thank
attention.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Is there anyone else who has an issue they'd like to bring before the city commission that is not on the agenda? Hearing none, we have a, oh, I'm sorry, oh, yes, sir, come on up, come on up. Sorry, I didn't see you back there. If you could, if you'd state your name and address.
It's Greg Billiter, 3208 Culpeper Court in Braxton Park.
All right, thank you.
Just had a question if we're going to discuss anything today about the Braxton Park rezoning
So,
on
yes,
this
sir.
meeting.
I think toward the end of the meeting, we have a city attorney's report, and the city attorney has asked us to look at information related to the appeal of a planning commission decision based on that. We have not had any discussions prior to that, but at that point in time, it'd probably be within 10, 15 minutes, I would
Okay.
think. We have a pretty short agenda.
Okay.
At that point in time, we're going to discuss which route we would like to go as a commission, if we would like to take that up on appeal, or if we would like to consider other options.
Okay.
But that's going to be the extent of what we do discuss about that issue today. But yes, we do have it on the agenda to discuss later in that.
Okay. I didn't see it on there, but, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. If there's, before you sit down, if there's anything that you would like to say to the commission while you're up here, you are welcome to do that.
I've got a list of things. It's just about some issues that came up during the planning commission meeting that needs clarified or talked about, and I can wait until
Gotcha. I just wanted to clarify too, that we're not going to have a hearing
Right.
today.
I understand.
Today, we're just going to be talking about procedurally how we're going to proceed with it.
Okay.
And so there may not be room at that time to have just a full-fledged discussion about that specific meeting or issue, but it is on the agenda to discuss later in the meeting.
Okay, that'd be fine.
Thank
Just want
you.
to make sure.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to, who has an issue they'd like to bring to the commission that's not on the agenda? You see any hands? I don't.
Are we good
All
on
right,
that?
we're good. Okay.
See Robin moving back there.
So this time I actually see none, and we will move on to the minutes from under the consent agenda and the rest of the consent agenda.
Consent agenda consists of the minutes of the January 16th, 2024 work session strategic goal planning retreat and the January 24th, 2024 regular meeting. Resolution number 04-24, resolution approving human resources report dated February 13th, 2024. Resolution 05-24, resolution approving Henderson Emergency Services Record Service Agreement for any record service that desires to be added to the rotation list maintained by the Henderson Emergency Communications Center, and Municipal Order 09-24, municipal order approving approving mutual aid assistance agreement between the City of Henderson, Kentucky and the City of Boonville, Indiana, and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement.
Before we get a motion, are there any items that any commissioner would like to pull for further discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Roll call, please.
I've lost my list.
That's right.
Commissioner Bowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have a second reading for an ordinance amending the tax moratoriums.
Ordinance number 02-24, ordinance amending Chapter 21, property moratoriums. An ordinance amending Chapter 21, taxation, Article 6, property assessment and reassessment moratorium, Section 21-91, moratorium program established, and repeal of Section 21-93 moratoriums to be limited to 5-year period in the Code of Ordinances of the City of Henderson.
Do we have a motion to approve? Do we have a second?
Second.
Are there any comments, questions, suggestions?
I'd just like to say this is one more way that we're making it better for the citizens of Henderson, and I'm so proud that we're doing things like that to make it a great place for the people who live here. That's going to help out with people. Say you add on a $30,000 addition, 5 years, you save that on your taxes.
I agree, sir. I agree. Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have a first reading of an ordinance amending job classification.
Ordinance number 03-24, ordinance amending job classifications and pay plan. An ordinance approving amendment to job classifications and pay plan by reclassifying the position of public information officer to public relations director.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions, suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance related to the fiscal year 2024 budget.
Ordinance number 04-24, ordinance amending portion of City of Henderson budget. Ordinance amending City of Henderson budgeted positions and job classifications of the 2023-2024 budget for certain non-hazardous positions in the administration department.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending Chapter 6, Animals.
Ordinance number 05-24, ordinance amending Chapter 6, Animals, Article 2, Dogs. An ordinance amending Chapter 6, Animals, Article 2, Dogs of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Henderson by revising Section 6-24, running at large, adding Section 6-27, sanitary disposal of dog feces, and adding Section 6-28, dog parks.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
So we discussed this at length at our last meeting. However, are there any other questions, comments, or suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Witt,
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order concerning annexation notification.
Municipal order number 10-24, municipal order giving notice to the Henderson County Fiscal Court of the City of Henderson's intent to annex property contiguous to the current city limits with the address of 2340 Old Corridon Road, PBA parcel 46-10.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second? We have a second. Do we have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Witt,
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order awarding the bid for trees at the sports complex.
Municipal order number 11-24, municipal order awarding bid for purchase and installation of trees for the city's sports complex to Stalkers Landscaping LLC of Evansville, Indiana, in the amount of $29,835.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Dylan, can you tell us a little bit more about what we're looking at?
Yes, sir, and I brought Mark Simmons along with me as well in case you all have any other questions. He's kind of the subject matter expert on this topic. So when we first started this project, we always tried to be aware of the fact that we were building next to a neighborhood as well as an adjacent property owner. So from the very beginning, part of our plan has always been to have what we've been calling a privacy barrier between us and our adjoining property owners. So basically what this bid is, so the low bid is just under $30,000, and that's for 400 trees. And so basically this would extend completely along our eastern boundary between us and the drive that's just the east of the property. They're evergreen trees, and we plan to do 2 rows, kind of stagger them just to kind of give a little bit of a depth view. They'll be just inside the fencing that's going to go on the outside of those. And we're buying them, about $75 a tree, purchased, delivered, and installed. And they start out about 5 to 6 feet tall, but Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but they grow anywhere from like 3 to 5 foot a year. So they're gonna grow pretty quick, and that's under ideal conditions. It might be a little less in our area, but Mark did a great job researching, talked to Andy Rideout, talked to several other people, and this is a very hardy tree. It's a very fast growing tree, and hopefully here in a few years they'll be pretty substantial trees and create a nice barrier for us.
I know that we have always seen this as a budget item and had always planned to go this direction. Thank you for the explanation, because sometimes we do get questions from the residents over in Big Creek about how are we going to screen out light and potentially dampen noise, pollution, stuff like that, and this is the answer to that question.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for spending some time and for helping us be considerate neighbors as we move forward with the sports complex. We appreciate it.
And if I could just add one thing, it's related to the sports complex, but not necessarily to the trees if this is the appropriate time. I just wanted to mention that this morning we actually, City Manager Buzzy Newman and myself, went to fiscal court, and they actually approved, we had opened the bid package for the field lighting, and they actually agreed this morning to approve $1,053,998 contract for that. So we'll bring that for your all's approval at the next meeting. And then we will procure the bid, we will manage the bid, and then they will reimburse us. But that did pass this morning while I'm up here, so just want to let you all know that.
Fantastic news. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Witt,
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Before we do city manager and city attorney, I have a few appointments that we need to take care of. First appointment would be to the Board of Occupational License Appeal. And I am recommending to the commission that we appoint Ross Scott to fill the vacancy on that particular board. I have called and spoken with Mr. Scott. He is a longtime member of the community, and he was actually one of the respondents for through our new board portal that's available on our website for people who would like to join one of our boards or have interest in joining our boards for submission. and so he submitted his name, and I'm happy to recommend him. Do we have a motion to approve? Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have 2 vacancies, or 2 renewals, either way, on the HWU, Henderson Water Utility Board. One of them is for Paul Byrd, current chairman, and the other one is for Gary Jennings. I would like to consider them both together because the Water Board has been fantastic to deal with over the last few years. And these 2 individuals are part of that reason why. They both have expressed interest in continuing on that board, and I will proudly recommend that we extend both of them to a new term on the Henderson Water Utility Board. So do we have a motion to approve Paul Byrd and Gary Jennings for renewal of the Henderson Water Utility Board?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
So I've got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Last up, we have a vacancy to fill for the Board of Ethics, and I am recommending to the board another person who submitted via the new board interest tool, Adam Blythe, to fill this role on the Ethics Board. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. That's all 4 appointments today. Do we have anything on the city manager's report?
Just as a reminder, we will have a special called meeting next Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Following that, we will have a work session to discuss the midterm budget review and tentative proposed 2025 budget.
Thank you. And that is, if I'm correct, that's in lieu of having a meeting on the 27th.
That is correct.
So we will not have a meeting on the 27th due to people being out of town for Hill Day in Frankfurt. City Attorney's report. I think you have a few things to talk to us about today, Ms. Dawn.
So the first one is really simple. When we were out doing strategic planning, I think that Steve Davis said that it was probably time for a comprehensive review of the zoning ordinance, because we keep finding these little parts in it. Well, this is one of these little holes in the zoning ordinance. When the zoning ordinance was redone 11 years ago, we put in conditional uses for parking lots in the gateway, automatic RF2. And by doing that, once you say that something is a permitted use or conditional use, if it's not in the other zones, then you can't do it in the other zones. And so we realized that we don't have parking lots allowed right now in general business and highway commercial. So what we need to do is just, it's really simple, is to put these as, and they'll be permitted use, not conditional uses in the general business and highway. We need to send this to Brian Bishop's here. We need to send this to the Planning Commission along with the definition that goes with it for public hearing and then bring it back. But it's just another example of what Steve was telling you all. We keep finding these little holes that we're having to bring back. So if you all are okay and we'll do a motion to recommend it, we will send it to Brian and hopefully get it on the March Planning Commission meeting.
Do we have a motion to send it to the Planning Commission for further review? Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt,
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye.
All right, so that's the first one. The second one is, at the last meeting, I had said that I had given you the materials of Braxton Park so that you would have an opportunity to make this decision. As you all know, we've had, they're not appeals, but requests for you all to make the decision on the rezone of Braxton Park. You all can do that by looking at the record and deciding whether you want to do a full public hearing on that. That's what you all did with the distillery, or you can look through that and make a decision that maybe you don't want a public hearing. Two of you all had told me that you had looked for it and felt like you didn't need a public hearing. But today I need to know from the rest of you all, are you all interested in doing a public hearing, a full public hearing on this? Or you feel like you can go forward without that? So,
All right, if,
I think,
we can go down the line if you
I
want.
think
Yeah.
I can go forward without the public hearing. We've seen enough in the packet.
Commissioner Bowles?
I think I'd be okay with that if we got the rest of the commission leaning that way too.
Commissioner Thomas?
I concur with that, yes.
so what I can, so for our next meeting, then I can prepare a resolution. So the next question is, should that resolution be to accept the recommendation as presented by the planning commission?
Yeah.
And so what I can do is I'll prepare that, bring that, and then you all can have the discussion at that hearing on that resolution. All right, and I have my instruction, and we'll put it on this, we will go on the 20th, right,
Yes.
Leslie? We'll put it on the 20th meeting, and then you all can have discussion with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead, but we do have need for.
No, we have
sorry.
a special call meeting next week. Okay?
Tuesday.
It's to the next.
3 o'clock, and then we have a work session after that, and it'll probably be a lengthy one because it's a budget-related work session.
Or the work session, I thought it said 27 on the work session.
No, it's the 20th. Yeah, 27th, we will not have a meeting.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes. Oh, yes, sir.
Just a second. I couldn't really hear back there. Are we going to have a public hearing on the
No,
Braxton Park?
it sounds like the will of the commission is to move forward to adopt the findings of fact that were issued at the planning commission meeting already.
There were some issues that wasn't true that came up.
I'm sorry, yeah, no, please, yeah, you have our attention, sir. You can,
Okay, well, first y'all said you didn't talk about it, and she said y'all talked about it previously. So what's,
No, at
Going on
the
here.
last meeting, I had asked them to please review the record. So that was what we talked about.
So we've got a record of the hearing that occurred at the planning commission meeting. We've got the, like, transcript and all the
yeah,
items that were presented there. So we have. If you want to tell us more, or, you're welcome to tell us now, or you can send us,
In the
you
20th meeting.
can, email us or whatever you'd like to do. I'm
the 20th meeting.
happy to hear you out still.
Yeah, and if you're already here and you would like to do it now, I mean.
sure, yeah,
you can come back.
the floor is yours, sir.
Well, I got all my notes back there, but
Well, you can go
there's
get it.
some
We got time.
issues.
Go get it. We want to hear it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to make sure this is on the record. I am speaking as a private citizen and have recused myself of this as the employee, or the employee of the Planning Commission. The neighborhood is not asking for anything special. We are not asking that you purchase a golf course. We're not asking that you build a $25 million road. We're not asking that you build a $1 million road to facilitate another neighborhood. We're simply asking that you hear your constituents out on this. That's the only question, or that's the only request we make. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's some families out there that would like to say their piece in front of y'all and not just let it go by the way. I just have a few things. There's supposed to be a covenant out there, and where we all live, there's 70-plus families that have this covenant. And what we heard during that planning commission meeting was they're not going to put a covenants on the new lots, the new phase. And that's really not fair to us to have to obey to these rules of a covenants and have people in our backyards that's not going to have these rules. So, the ordinance was meant to be put on the new phase by the late Steve Parker, the builder out there. And it wouldn't be right for us to have to obey a covenants, excuse me, and have new families in our backyards not to have to obey the same rules as us. So what come out of the developers, the meeting, was they wasn't going to impose the covenants. But we think there's already a covenants out there that the developer bought that come with the covenants. And what we come out of the meeting was there's not going to be a covenants implied. And if there's already one there, he can't go by the 60-foot wide lots that he wants to put out there instead of the 80 that every other lot out there, an 80-foot wide. And so what else? There was a question about a traffic study, and the developer and his lawyer said there was a traffic study that was done, but one of the guys come out, I forget his name, come up and said there was not covenants. So we have some issues on what's going to be done, or should there be a traffic study? We think they are, because we only have one entrance and one exit out there for 70-plus homes, and he's going to build another 34 lots, I think. And he wants to minimize the width of these lots to add 4 more lots on the backside, which will be right in my backyard. Instead of one family in my backyard, I'll have 2 houses right behind me and on down and around the property. And having these smaller homes will just, I feel, would diminish the diminish the value of our homes that's already out there. That's a set precedence of Braxton Park. And the developer wants to change all these lot sizes to accommodate extra lots so we can make extra money, I would think. I've talked about all these 2 pages of stuff during that commission meeting, and if you want to go over that, I know it's on record because I have the printout of all that. That's pretty much briefly what I have, and we have others that would like to speak about it when we have these differences in what the developer said and his lawyer said and what is not there was a conflict already about the traffic study, and I forget who that was, Doug somebody, I think? Yeah, he come up and said there was no traffic study done out there. We would like that at least have a traffic study done for another entrance. What their lawyer was talking about, before there was going to be 100 more lots out at the end of his development, which would have had a second entrance, an exit. But the new road is going to take that, and they can't build anymore, so there'll not be another exit. So we would like to look into some kind of another entrance for this amount of homes, like up to 100 homes.
Gotcha.
And the lot size, if we could get that back to an 80-foot at least and have a covenants put in there. And if we could meet on that and have a public hearing on that would be nice, I would think.
Well, thank you for bringing your concerns to the commission. What we're going to do is at our